You know, it ain't taking over already, Tom. Let me let me run something down for you. And I've been waiting on somebody to say no live. 20 years ago, a little less than 20 years ago, I was working with an Army Ranger and he had this game on his phone. And I downloaded it and everybody else in the, because he was a store manager, everybody, like I was like 2 days a week, I would courier drive for Advanced Auto Parts. So like I like used to do it, and it was something where like he was like, "Yo, I'm opening up a new store. You know what I'm saying? Come work with me. Do. Rest in peace, because he's a soldier that." But there's this game. There's this game, and do you know what this game is, Tone? This game is like in game on how you win is the fastest person to infect the entire world with a disease. Now, that's how you win the game. So let's just, this is one of the top downloaded games, phone games back then. Hear me out. The game starts with you pick a location and you start to learn the trade routes. You start to learn flight patterns, train patterns, transportation. And to get good at the game, you try to find the places in the world that the most people are connected to. So it would be like, let me teach you how to Town, South Africa, New York, LAX. It would be Chicago International Airport. It would be the UK. It would be certain places that, like, if you had to get somewhere, like from in Europe, you gotta go here. If you want to get somewhere from Asia, Africa, you gotta go here. If you come in the US and you come in international, you gotta go here, here, and here. And like we started getting good at the game. Now this is almost 20 years ago when this game was perfected. Now let me tell you something. Let me show you AI just so you can keep up with me. We know the deep state and government, technology wise, is 100 years ahead of what we currently have, like the general population. 20 years ago, 1 million cell phone users download and play this game. Let's assume and be fair, if you downloaded a game on your phone and it's the most played game in the App Store, that 100 people, those million people played the game at least 100 times. Hear me out, because you disagreeing, you ain't listening right now. It would be, that's 100 million times of data of 100 million different outcomes of how you could spread a disease the fastest. So let's take the top 10% of players that played and say that that's 10 million possible outcomes on how you wanted to infect the world. Now, fast forward 20 years. Fast forward 20 years, right? Take a supercomputer with the AI we have now and simulate that disease game 1 billion times. You would have every single possible outcome of how you could infect the planet with the most, give or take the variables, down to a percentage of saying, if I wanted to take a disease and infect the entire population of the world to take out a certain percentage of people, I could get it down to the demographic that is going to affect the most. I can tell you what disease, I can tell you what blood types, I can tell you what ethnicities it would affect the most. I could tell you what metropolitan areas would be hit the hardest based on how the disease would travel based off this AI. Hear me out. Take one scientist that's smarter than everybody watching and everybody who has the potential to watch, who's above the law, operating not on international guidelines, not by some government regulation, with no oversight, and an unlimited budget. And then think about COVID-19. Now that I just said that, I could affect the demographic, the region of the world, and the specific, down to the science of, even if divine intervention stepped in, I could take out 10% of a specific ethnicity if I wanted to with that. And degree of difficulty with this AI, it would be untraceable that I was targeting a specific demographic, because X amount of every other ethnicity.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Now tell me the AI hasn't taken over to the point where I could simulate all the possible outcomes in the entire universe for a thing. I don't need a team of black ladies doing math in a wing to tell you where my rocket is going to land. They don't need to compute it. I can give this AI program a few hours and it compute every possible thing that could go wrong within this rocket to hit a certain time during a certain month, to hit a certain part of the universe. Like, bro, literally everything could be run down through AI at this point. I could even take that same AI program that you don't think is dangerous. That's literally TikTok. That's literally what they arguing about TikTok, bro. Now think about that. I'm just telling you about a program that was 20 years ago that any of us could have gotten. Now 20 years since then, given the technology and given the the current state of the world, imagine somebody with $1 trillion and access to this AI. It's a program. Just like I told y'all, people in these chats and Facebook think Facebook is they're so down on you can't say what you want in the chat. Nobody's reporting you. There's not some secret person monitoring the things y'all are typing in chat. It's a program. And the person who runs the Facebook dashboard, I had a long conversation with once in person, and they explained to me down to the T why they do what they do, and that it is third party. It's not like from Facebook. So they could take an AI, and this AI could scroll every one of y'all comments in every Facebook chat, on every post, on every live stream, down to the T, and they can go in and change it. And you could use 2 or 3 word phrases within 100 text comments, and it'll literally
let me teach you how to vibe.
Within, and all it needs is 4 seconds for it to hit this AI. And you telling me that AI is not dangerous?
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Yo, Reef, what up? Peter, what's popping? Coach Biggs, Edward B. Now just think about that. That's what you know about, not what you don't know about. That's how strong AI is. You gotta just take your mind and take a step back and just, without thinking, just look at it. So much so that somebody can set a program to run and execute without them actually physically being present. All this thing is gonna execute until something stops it. Doesn't mean that that it's grown consciousness, but it could be something that could be set in chain up until the point that there wouldn't be anybody ever to physically stop it. Then they give it into you in movie form, and you realize Alien and Prometheus is about AI. The Creator is about AI. All the movies that y'all been watching recently, you've been thinking it's from the human perspective. You've been thinking from an alien perspective. It's literally AI. Now, when you go back and watch these movies, these sci-fi movies, now look at it from the perspective of AI. Like Prometheus was not about people. It's not about aliens. It was about AI. Like when we in the Twilight Zone now. Shit's spooky, man. And if anybody disagree or have an opposite viewpoint, he said content been on another level. Not yet. This Reef is me taking a step back, doing other things outside of streaming. You know what I'm saying? And going live a little less, reducing my live time a little less, putting more offline consistently.
Let me teach you
Now,
how to
Reef,
vibe.
the problem is I should have been doing this model. Even when things was working out like better, I should have been doing this model 4 years ago. Where would I be? How everything been though, man? How the fan been? I gotta get more people to hop in on these Discord. So the next level is once I get the shop talk portions to where I can kind of like timestamp it and go in and take like a 7-minute section, a 15-minute section. When I can get those parts pulled out of it and still have the full shop talk, but like, see, I can reel form it now, but it's hard to remember to get certain stretches of conversation out in like a 7, like the Joe Budden talking about like the financial business aspect of the beef. That 10-minute clip is gold. It's better than the whole podcast because I've already listened to it 3 times before I even go listen to the whole podcast. So it's like, I got to get that. The real part, I kind of like got back in my bag on it, but now I got to be able to take it and give me a little bit. That'll give me the watch time on YouTube to get YouTube partner. Cause I finally hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, I guess because I finally like took the time to apply myself. But I appreciate that though. Matt Moore, Peter, where Tone go, man? Tone was disagreeing until I went into that dissertation right there. Now he like, man, give me the Henny. I guess he right. He said he been asking the question to get some of the brains twitching. Man, I just scratch it like Reef. I'm literally like not even like that's the outside, like that's the most outer. That's like the most outside level layers to the onion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the furthest, like the deep dives when I get people in the shop. There's never been somebody who wholeheartedly disagree with something I say that's got in the shop and got in the Discord and not got out and be like, I got to thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, cause I've been and had the deep dives already before I just get a basic. The basic is like me knowing where you got to go. It's like San Andreas. San Andreas is a linear game that gives you the appearance that it's not linear. That's what makes it great. It don't matter if you go to San Fierro or Yellowstone or go to the hood. It doesn't matter like the order in which you take it, you still get back to the same point. So it's like kind of like me laying it out there for people to, I know where they got to go with the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And that, to be honest, Reef, if you go back and look at my old stuff before I ever started streaming, that was my lane. And it's such a tough lane to get people, because that was like that was like the beginning of that move, that type of movement, when people thought I was like a devil worshiper and all that stuff, when I was like questioning stuff. Now that it's so open, you can't tell the forest from the trees. So I can kind of like throw it in there just to get the conversation going. And then when people hop in, I could really deep dive. It's Suave, what up? But I need, but that's the question of the day though. AI, artificial intelligence, how far is it now? I feel like artificial intelligence is real spooky right now. Like, think about it. We talking about these rappers and diss records, and nobody can tell if it's an AI created diss or a real diss. like rap beefs could be
Let
started
me
off of
teach you how to
AI.
vibe.
You know what I'm saying? It might not even be the real person making the song. Like who even like because it's leaked. Like we can't definitively say that the disc came from the actual artist until the artist like put it on DSP and put it on iTunes. Then we're like, oh, it's real now. Like you don't even know if the beef is like somebody really creative with AI just leaked something. Cause like we in the age of information without journalistic expertise, people could just say something and it'd be so believable that people don't even fact check it. They just take it as true. It's like Isaiah Washington when he was on the podcast with Rizza Islam and he was like, yo, I'm gonna just like make a tweet that I'm dead. He was like, he gonna see how far it go before people realize that he ain't dead. And I was like, that's spooky, bro. He said we need AI though, for real. Think about it, Tom. Every advancement in technology has all come from a place of a low moral compass, but it's pushed the world forward. Like I hate to say this, like slavery was genetic engineering in a different term, right? War exponentially grows technology, right? The Nazis was doing some way wicked shit, but they had like technological advances past any modern civilization that they was able to exponentially grow everything, and they was doing it in a way where it was like not ethical, right? Tuskegee experiment was not ethical. Most of the stuff that we get where technology and information grows, it comes from an unethical place because a person is assuming the role of who determines who lives or dies or what the price of admission for learning something is. All city without doubt. He said devil worship is crazy, man, if people only knew the other half. But I mean, I learned it like to not take it personal. You know what I'm saying? It's like fear of the unknown is a spooky thing. So I mean, I don't even think of devil in the terms of what most people think devil is, Reef. It's like the devil could be me. You see what I'm saying? Like the devil could have many forms. I wouldn't just say it's like horns and with his tongue with the split out shit and the spitting fire. Like nah, because I mean that's the old Scooby Doo shit. Like there's a gold mine at the end of that tunnel, but it's a ghost in front of it. Like that's what most people think devil is. Like there's some unknown technology that we don't know what it does. Oh, it's the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like no, it's not the devil. It's just some shit you don't know what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like let's stop the cap. Like it was a time when people thought people was like a woman that could use natural things in nature to heal people. Oh, she's a witch. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not a witch. She just knows that if you take that specific root and you rub it on that person or make a soup out of it, it's probably gonna cure like the little 24-hour bug they got. You know what I'm saying? Like she probably just had a jar of sea moss somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Let me teach you how
But,
to
you know
vibe.
what I'm saying? I digress from that. The disc record as AI is really crazy. It's already causing so much confusion now. You don't know if it's AI if you don't know if it's real. What if somebody used AI to come up with a diff record? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would never know. He said this diss rap made it. I don't even care about this diss record shit. I feel like it's a psych op. I feel like it's just to keep all black people confused. Back in the day, we all wanted robots, and then we got robots. And now it's derogatory. Not necessarily. I always say, Tone, everything is inanimate until you have something animate do something to it. Like a gun is not dangerous. A gun is dangerous in the wrong hands. A knife is not dangerous. It's dangerous in the wrong hands. Speech is not dangerous. Speech is dangerous in the wrong hands. Like every single thing in this world can be good and bad at the same time. So it's like, I don't think it's derogatory. I'm just saying everything that we unlock that would like we've forgotten more than we've ever known as a civilization. Everything that we unlock opens Pandora's box in which we can't go back in. So imagine like the first person that pulled up with a gun. What is this magic stick? Doom, they shot somebody that said, wait a minute, the game just changed. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole game changes when new technology is entered. So AI has entered, and you know, you go back to Outcast, they say a computer can do my job better than I can. So now you put AI in robotics. Who we, bro? Like, you don't need people. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy smokes. I mean, that's what RoboCop was about. RoboCop
Let me teach you how to vibe.
building it, bro. They put it in your face. Think about how long RoboCop was. RoboCop was the cop, was the thing that could go detonate a bomb if there was a bomb threat, a thing that could go inside a fire and save something and put the fire out if people didn't, like collateral damage of people. Until today, some sick person programs it to say, you know what? I want that robot to shoot that dude I don't like. You know what I'm saying? The robot doesn't have a moral compass. It just shoots target. That's the spookiness of AI. Now, apply that to satellite. Apply that to direct energy weapons. Apply that to missile systems that are computer. Now, I want you to think even harder for the naysayers. Now think boats running into bridges that mysteriously go out of control. We could be thinking EMP was something that's going to shut down the grid. EMP could be something that malfunctions, something that causes damage that you can't trace. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be, you know what I'm saying? Like now it gets spooky. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh snap. What if somebody had some way for artificial intelligence to mess with them boats, that them boats been hitting all them damn bridges?
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Might not be EMP. Might not be. It could be somebody's program. Just like your computer can have a bad program. Your phone can have a bad program. Your car can have a bad program. You know what I'm saying? Like this has always been a thing. Like artificial intelligence, you just got to unwrap your mind the way it's been shown to you and just look at it for like what it could potentially be. Pat Walker, what up? Yeah, I'm watching the Nuggets and Lakers now. Tomorrow your birthday, what you gonna do for it? He said Bron going crazy, 19.5. But the Lakers was up double digits. It's a 3-point game now, so I don't know. Black Phoenix, what up? Ali, what up? Talk to me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like artificial intelligence could get spooky, bro. That's all I'm saying. Artificial intelligence could mess up a food supply. Artificial intelligence could
Let me teach you how to
Flint,
vibe.
Michigan water. Hanging out with the fam. That's perfect. Let's say, listen, and Gabby Wade was amazing. Yeah, I know, man. I had texted him today. He had his own do not disturb yesterday, but I'll text him this morning when I was out. I said, man, I wish I was there, bro. Wish I was there, because his wedding and then my cousin's wedding is in the Bahamas like in a few weeks. And it's like I ain't gonna be able to get to either one of them weddings. Hopefully second half of the year I don't miss any events. Like that like those that it sucked not being able to go to those two. Definitely gonna go through the pictures and check them out. What y'all gonna do with it though, Pat? Artificial intelligence could mess up flight plans. Artificial intelligence could do a lot, bro. I had fun though, going back home. Tomorrow, how many days was you there? I ain't been to that area. I probably was like, I had to be like 12 or something like the last time I've been up there, because I got family out that way. Wednesday. Yeah, 4 days. That's straight. How long is that flight? Probably going to have some dinner and some beers. What is the food and beer of choice for your birthday? Sean K, what up? Check the photo in the Discord. 6 to 7 hour layover. Ain't no way. Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine Bama wearing that. That's tough. I kick trolls be the worst, bro. Like, I wish kick trolls could step that game up. I'm still on record saying Facebook trolls probably. Facebook and Twitter. Facebook and Twitter got the best trolls. I'm gonna make a reel on that. Facebook and Twitter got the best trolls. 6 to 7 flight. 6 to 7. The longest layover I had on a flight. Coming back from Vegas when I had to go from.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
From Charlotte back to Atlanta probably was like. Charlotte back to Atlanta probably was my longest layover, and it was nowhere near that. Because I never understood why I went from Vegas to Charlotte. From Charlotte to Atlanta, and Atlanta to Birmingham. Like, that was like, I hated that. Jay Reezy, what up? Lakers in 5. I don't know about 5 because, like, Nuggets is too good. I mean, Lakers just had a 10-point lead, and the Nuggets got it to 1 possession in like 2 minutes. The Nuggets now is like the Warriors, bro. Like, they can cut a lead with the way they play ball, like, pretty quick. Really, because they play D. No Diddy. You get straight flights, but I didn't book that flight though. That flight was like they had flew me and Ann out for a jump off in Vegas. So like the people that was doing it booked it. Like we didn't like the host of the shit. I wasn't paying for we didn't pay for the resort. We didn't pay for the hotel. We didn't pay for nothing. We didn't pay for car service. Like we didn't pay for nothing while we was in Vegas, bro. Like if I was going somewhere myself, like I do one or two things. I either drive to Atlanta and fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like because Birmingham get you decent flights, but they don't get a lot of direct flights. So like if I got a direct flight, I probably have to go from like Birmingham to Atlanta and then Atlanta to somewhere straight. You probably wouldn't get outside of the South and the East Coast. Probably not gonna, or Midwest, you probably not gonna get a lot of direct flights from Birmingham straight to somewhere. Like I'll probably at least gonna have to exchange like Atlanta or somewhere. I mean, what did the Warriors do though? Like, is it time to break the team up? Like, what are they like? What's the sauce? See here in DC, yeah, something you in DC, bro. I'm in Birmingham. That's like somebody in LA or New York or something. You know what I'm saying? In a big city like Dallas or something, like, yeah. Like y'all, like you in a place where they gotta have airports. I don't know what cuz you said. Yo, Myron, what up? Appreciate you tapping in on that green. Oh, they're getting initiated. Come on, man. I need a challenger. Tone lost twice tonight. I'm gonna need somebody that gonna be in the Discord or hop in the conversation that can fight back. I need to be like Bruce Lee. I need to at least see some blood. I need somebody to at least scratch me in these debates or conversation tonight. I need somebody to at least scratch me, or I'm gonna be in here trying to chase Bo Jackson all night. He said, "What's the challenge?" It wasn't a challenge. I did a reel today about artificial intelligence. Like, I feel like artificial intelligence is way ahead of what we think it's at, and I think It's very fucking spooky. Hey, we very well. I think AI is really spooky. Because I mean, think about it. Like every part of our life now is controlled by analytics and algorithm. Yeah, I mean, people don't understand.
Let me teach you how to
That's a big
vibe.
portion of what this TikTok is about. You see what I'm saying? Like the powers that be want to have control of all this stuff, but AI is like could settle any score if it wanted to. AI could literally change the whole algorithm of the way we live our life in a matter of minutes to hours. Twigs, William D, what's popping? See, the thing about TikTok was a new algo, and TikTok is a Chinese app. So if the number 2 superpower in the world is the Chinese behind the US and they competing, and TikTok has algorithm data on every like hundreds of millions of Americans down to their location, the way they move, who they're connected to, what they watch. It can silently start feeding them information that it wants them to see. It can retract things and keep things out of sight. It can know who you're talking to. It can pick up on your conversations. It can tap into every single portion of your life. And if they wanted to, like just the amount of data,
Let me teach
if you
you how to
take that
vibe.
data from TikTok, if you take all the data from Facebook, and somebody was to put this into a program, they could pretty much do anything they want with every user. It said it took over, but not how, making it seem like AI finna end the world. You're retracting, my friend. Alina,
Let me
what up?
teach you how to vibe.
Jacob Nichols. That it's a person, yo. I don't know how to say that, but T Martin. I got a cousin whose name sound like that. Said just like Timu. But I'm saying like a person with a good program with AI could do a whole lot of damage. The spooky part about AI is it can compute every possible outcome with the exception of like of an unseen, unknown variable, but it can compute it to the point of I could simulate a war in a program and then just take the best choice to actions based on that program. So like, let's just play a hypothetical. This is not a real thing. Let's say China wanted to invade the US. And with the TikTok data and with the data they've already collected, let's say they put a program, a supercomputer, and compute every possible way they could invade or take over. And it might come back after a trillion different things and say, this one is a foolproof plan. This one is the method. Without all variables changing, divine intervention included. This is the one method that would instruct the most damage. You may not win, but this is your best chance. That's spooky. What if somebody said, I want to get rid of all black people? And I'm going to put this program and say, I want this to take 50 years, but I want all black people off the earth. It could literally give you down to the T in the science the best chance untraceable to take out as many black people as possible with this program. That's what's spooky about AI. It said it could, but will it? And let me show you something, Tone. Do you think a U.S. soldier would harm a U.S. citizen given the order? And let me follow that. Do you think an officer sworn to serve and protect will harm a U.S. citizen. Now, y'all remember there was that movie where those soldiers had on those helmets, and inside the helmet it made them look like the person they shooting was an alien or a monster, but it was real people, and somebody was trying to reverse the program to where they could see what they were shooting at. Humanistically, somebody could already convince somebody that this black person is not a real human. It's just a such and such. I'll kill it. Yo, that's just Japs. I'll shoot it. Yo, those are just Jews. I'll kill. Those are just Vietnamese. I'll kill it. Right? Those are Tutsis. That's Rwanda, Burundi. You'll shoot it. What makes you think a program can't be programmed to do that? It's not like we fighting like these proxy wars. Like, you know, somebody's taking a red light laser and putting it on a target, and a satellite is dropping some shit on. A satellite is dropping some shit and just hitting the spot. And then a person pulling the trigger and a person flying over. It's a missile. It's a direct missile system. I got the red light on the target. It's ping. That missile's coming off of a carrier or a satellite or some shit. You see what I'm saying? Don't necessarily need a person there pulling the trigger. That's spooky because it's programmed to do that. Let's take it a step further. Hawaii, direct energy weapons could be a program. It could be a program. AI said, how can we clear this said land to take over? Because we it's a resource there and we want to put something there. You could compute that and it could say fire. You could compute something and say, China, how do I take Taiwan? Give me 1 trillion different outcomes. It could be earthquake. Listen, man, shit can get real spooky real quick, bro. I'm just saying. Like, if you can convince a human to do something, why couldn't you get a program to do it? So that's all I'm saying is I'm saying it may not necessarily have to be the AI itself doing it. If you already have entities that are operating above the law, and there's no oversight, and there's no international NATO or none of that applies to it, what make you think they wouldn't do it? So let's just keep things in order. Operation Paperclip. There was Nazis willing to do anything to reach a certain status.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
They took all those same people, and those are the people that ran the FBI, the CIA, NASA, DEA, black budget programs in the 40s. They've had an 80-year head start to take that and double it down with no oversight, with no rules. What could somebody who worked up chattel slavery, what could somebody who worked up Leopold in the Congo, what could be somebody who worked up the Holocaust do with AI? He said, I don't believe it'll happen in our lifetime. Even if it did, ain't nothing we could do about it. Anything can go in any direction. I agree. I'm not saying we can do nothing about it, but I am saying that to blindly not think about it would make us. It would make us no different than a person who's seen a slave and was like, I know it's the law, I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna act like I didn't see it. I ain't gonna do nothing about it because, you know, it may not necessarily change something for that slave. Like, we're complicit to it. We got blood on our hands.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
If we sit and see things that don't sit well and sit right and just allow it to happen, because we all got kids and we're hopefully trying to leave the world in a better place for our kids. And if we don't, we be doing them a disservice, because that's what we say to the generation before us. Like, man, why y'all ain't do nothing about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, how y'all let this happen? And now we in the same position, like seeing the things that's going to be left for our kids, knowing that if it don't happen in your lifetime, it might happen in your kids' lifetime. And they going to have to deal with the problem that we didn't want to meet head on. Tisk, tisk.